It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you Mrs. נחמה She'ki from Tel Aviv, who will help us stay connected to our Rebbe and will show us clearly that the Rebbe is with us now more than ever before. With no further ado, Mrs. She'ki. Chag Sameach, Good Yom Tov. It is 217 years that we celebrate Chag HaGeulah. And what that means that the word of the greatest rabbis, Rabbi Zalman Miladi, he said us that if somebody is happy in my celebration, he will be distressed always from his problems. So I'm sure that this audience will be always very, very happy. And I have a suggestion. Before the big light that we will light all Beit Israel in Hanukkah, that all Am Israel will celebrate Chag HaGeulah because this is the Erev Shabbat, הכנה של ערב שבת, היא החג בעצמו. This is a great privilege for me to share with you dearest Nashot Chabad and to celebrate Yud Kislev this year at 770, where our relationship with the Rebbe and Nashot Chabad started. So, it was 45 years ago, few months after our marriage, that someone knocked on our door at 2 after midnight. This is not a common hour to get people or guests. We looked at the peephole of the door, and it was a rabbi. And he whispered, "My name is Rabbi Gertner, and I just came from Yechidut with the Rebbe from New York. And he asked me to go and to send a big brachot and thanks to Avner She'ki because of his fights for the big issue of who is a Jew." The time was that in Eretz Israel, the question of who is a Jew raised from time to time. And at this time, it was very crucial because a lieutenant from the IDF married a non-Jew woman, and he had 2 children, and he asked that the government will register them as Jews, although the mother is not Jewish. Of course, he came to the court and he declared, "I'm giving all my life to this country, and no one will tell me to whom I'm going to marry, whom I'm going to love, and my children are not going to be discriminated because I decided to marry this woman." The court set up to question this issue, and my late husband, Professor She'ki, was a professor in the Tel Aviv University, International Law, and as a personal Jewish Israeli he felt that if Chas v'Chalila, the court will decide for Binyamin Shalit, our nation going to be split in two. Because no one would like to Chas v'Chalila let our children marry to non-Jews. So he went from one city to another and he explained the problem. And he said, Baruch Hashem, 67 years ago, when we came back to Israel, the government decided 3 major issues. That the rest day will be Shabbat, that the army will keep kosher, and the most important thing, the Jewish family will be recognized by the halakha. It means that a Jew is one who was born to a Jewish mother or to made a conversion by the halacha. And Mr. Binyamin Shalit put this problem and he said, I am going to change all these rules in our country. I don't want my children to be discriminated. Now the Rebbe, he knew exactly everything that happened in Israel, and he decided to send a blessing to my husband and to our family. And I'm here today to tell you what it means, a blessing from a Rebbe. 2 months later, he was nominated as the Vice Minister of Education, and of course, we were invited to come to the United States, and of course, we came to visit the Rebbe. The visit was pointed to midnight, and I was sure, as a normal person, that it's going to be a few minutes. But the Rebbe, after half an hour that Rav Klein, alav shalom, came, the Rebbe pointed his hand and he understood that he's not allowed to come to the room anymore. And we remained there almost 3 hours. Wow. The Rebbe knew exactly what happened in Israel, and he sent us a blessing. And we even spoke in French, because as you know, that the Rebbe made his doctorate in the Sorbonne. I learned in the sport as well, and my husband finished the Alliance, and he was a scholar in French. We're coming back to our problem, to the conversion, and the Supreme Court said to resolve this problem. Meantime, Sheakey went from one place to another to explain the danger if Chas v'Chalila, the Supreme Court will accept the demand of Mr. Shalit. And it happens that once he came to a kibbutz Dalia, it's in the north, and they put a soldier without legs on a chair, and Avner understood immediately what they want to tell him. It means that he has a wife not Jewish, and he has children not Jewish, and now Avner needed to answer why his children, as Binyamin Shalit, will be discriminated. So Avner raised his hand to the driver and he said, Yerach, go back home. And he said, how you go back home 4 hours from Kibbutz Dalia? And Avner answered, I'm going to be a member in this kibbutz. And here is the secretary of the kibbutz raised and he said, sorry, Professor Sheakey, but not everyone can be a member in this kibbutz. And Avner answered and he said, I'm appreciating very much the kibbutz, But do you think that the Jewish nation doesn't have criteria to belong to the Jewish nation, only this kibbutz? And they understood immediately his point, and of course launched his discussion. What I want to say that I'm sure many people throughout the world wanted to see the Rebbe. Maybe we are few among many that we were invited by the Rebbe. And this is a big merit and privilege for me. And I want to tell you a little bit. After this meeting, 3 hours, we had another meeting because the Supreme Court, 5-4, decided that the children of Binyamin Shalit will be registered as Jews. But thank God, in Israel, we have the separation of powers, and the legislators are above the judges. Now, what happened is, 2 years after that, Agudat Israel, that was in the opposition, wanted to raise this law and to change the law to make the conversion according to the halacha by law. And it was 100-20. Didn't have any chance to pass the law. But the minute Avner, as a Vice Minister of Education, they changed so many good things for religious education in Israel and helped so much Chabad education in Eretz Israel that it was Chaval to stop this wonderful work that he started. But the minute they had to vote, Avner got a telephone call and they told him, Rabbi Groner wants to speak with you. And Rabbi Groner said, the Rebbe wants to tell you something. And Avner explained, and he said, all this wonderful work that we are doing will stop. And the Rebbe asked him, and he said, I know, but this is a Kiddush Hashem. This will be Mesirut Nefesh. And I'm asking you to do it. And you know what? This Dvar Malchut of this week, Parashat Vayeshev, it was a beautiful say, what is a Mesirut Nefesh? There is 2 kinds of work for Hashem. One, Avodah Sechlit. We have to work Hashem by logic. But there is another work which is much more greater than this. And this is Avodat Mesirut Hashem, Mesirut Nefesh LaHashem. Why? Because the work that we do by logic will bring the light of the to the world, the light, the natural light. But if we are going to work by Mesirut Nefesh LaHashem, it's much beyond, and by Nes will come this superior light to this world. And this is the word of the Rebbe this week. And I know that I have to do a little bit short my talk, and I want to tell you another episode with the Rebbe, which was the 3rd time that we were invited to him. So after this vote, that Avner She'aki resigned from the government because the Rebbe asked him. And this was a big issue. I can tell you, until today, I really don't know anyone that lived this post because of. And of course we were invited to come to the Rebbe. And we say that Avner needs to go and to bring Parnasa. And the university started exactly after Simchat Torah, Sukkot. And we can come to the Rebbe only in Tishrei. And they told us that no one came for Yechidut on Tishrei to the Rebbe because it was a very special time for the Rebbe. But because we couldn't do other way, the Rebbe said, you come. And when we came, you know, all the Hasidim danced with my husband, Alav Shalom, around the 770. And we came to the Beit Midrash. And the Rebbe stood and he greeted us with such a ma'or panim. And he said, Bruchim Abaim. And of course, we remained there another 3 hours. And at almost the end, the Rebbe looked at me and he said, your husband is like a sportsman. He needs to go back few steps in order to get a momentum to run much more than before. And, you know, I went from this Yechidut with the Rebbe, and it was very hard for me to believe because I know that usually once you leave politics, you leave it forever. And the Rebbe said what he said, and at that time I understood that this is much more than a regular person is promising something. And I want to show you the video because b'diuk as the Rebbe promised, it happened. 12 years later, Avner Shaekhi was asked to come back to politics. And you will see the video when I'm talking to the Rebbe, he's saying to me, Bekefel kiflaim. And it was exactly as the Rebbe said. He left the post when he was Vice Minister of Education. And he became the leader of the Mafdal. And he became a minister representing the Mafdal. Exactly as the Rebbe promised. And I would like please to show the video, and you will see here is sitting my wonderful dear daughter Moria, that was 17 years old at that time. We were invited to Tafshin Samach Chet, when the Rebbe accept people in his home residence. And here you will see the video.
יהדות ויש
this is the second video. Actually, we have another one also. But because of shorting of time. So the Rebbe asked me to go and to teach in Eretz Israel. And this is what I'm doing. Baruch Hashem, a soldier in the Chabad army. The third meeting with the Rebbe.
My mother said you're a general in the army.
Sorry.
Dear Neshot Chabad, I love you. This is what I say to the Rebbe. I say, wherever I'm going, so I'll tell you a little anecdote. You have to listen to this. The first trip as Vice Minister of Education, we were invited to come to Paris. The President Pompidou was elected, and we as French speakers were invited to come to France. And the government asked me, what are you asking? I said two things. To be next to a shul and to eat kosher and other things we can. And we arrived at Friday morning, an hour before Shabbat, we were walking to the address of the synagogue and raised meal. We came in, and it was a Reform synagogue, women and men. And since then, I didn't ask anything else. I said Chabad, and that's it. You don't need two questions. You don't need two things. This is one thing that really covered the whole Jewish life. And I say to the Rebbe that for me Chabad is neshama yetera. We got it on Shabbat, but if you are close to Chabad, you get it every moment. 24. And here is the third visiting to the Rebbe. Avner Shaekhi left, and he wrote 2 volumes of books of me, Hu Yehudi, 1,000 pages that cover the whole problem. And before it appears as 2 volumes, we came to the Rebbe here, and I want to tell you, after this 3 hours meeting, I understood that I don't understand who is the Rebbe. Ubchen, the Rebbe took 1,000 pages, and he read 2 hours, the whole 2 volumes.
Wow.
And he left the papers, and he started to ask questions to my husband, and Avner answered him one by one, and I was so thrilled because it's impossible. My husband wrote it 5 years, and the Rebbe read it 2 hours. It's impossible that he really touched the main issues in the book. But at the end, the Rebbe asked him one question, and he answered, and another one, and he answered, and the Rebbe left his finger, and he said, Achidush, Achidush. He is the only man, the only human being that I, Haktana be'elfei Menashe, had this privilege to be invited to know and to meet the greatest personality that ever creates in this world. Thank you very much.